Krishna to be an imagination. 6. To give some interpretations to the holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. 8. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, karma kanda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of holy name. 10. To not have complete faith in the chanting of holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these 10 offenses in order to achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. Once again, I thank everyone for joining the Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call today. Let us move on to our next session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam class. May I know who all have joined the call this morning?
Hare Krishna Padma Sakhi Mataji, Dandrat Pranam Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai, Priti Dasi from Charlotte. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Priti Mataji, Dandrat Pranam, all praise to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandrat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Arvindaksh from Chicago. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Arvindaksh Prabhuji, Dandvat Pranam, all goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Sakhi Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Jai Srila Prabhupada. This is Preeti Vilasni Devi, Atlanta.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Vilasni Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Padmasaki Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharajas, and all glories to the assembled devotees. This is Tiffany in Pennsylvania, and it's so wonderful to see your beautiful face this morning. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Tiffany Mataji. Thank you so much for your encouraging words. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining every day, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Padma Sakhi Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, and to all the assembled devotees. This is Megha from Naperville. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Megha Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Aditi Devi Dasi from Canada.
Hare Krishna, Aditi Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Padmasaki Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devi Dasi from Texas.
Hare Krishna Mataji, this is Balavrinda.
Balavrinda, I was looking for you. Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji and Balavrinda Mataji. Thank you so much for joining the call every day. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Sakhi Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Shyamagari Devi Dasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna, Shyam Gauri Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for everything. Thank you so much for joining. Beautiful chadar.
Yeah, Vrindavan.
Yes. That chadar reminds of Vrindavan.
Yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Gauranga, and all assembled devotees. Yashamati from Chicago.
Hare Krishna, Yashamati Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Padmasaki Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the assembled devotees. This is Anita from Sharjah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day. Hare Krishna.
Padmasaki Mataji,
Yes, Prabhuji.
please accept my humble obeisances. Padmasaki Mataji, all glories to Prabhupada, all glories to all Guru Maharajas and all the assembled devotees there. And really, your children program also, I saw that they were so nice, all children. So I'm Sukakar Krishnadas from Chennai. Thank you very much for accepting me to attend your programs.
Hare Krishna, Sukakar Das Prabhuji, Sukakar Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji, for joining and encouraging all of us every single day. Your questions are very enlightening. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Please keep joining.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Padma Sukhi Mataji, all glories to the Prabhupada and Guru Maharaji. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Brahman.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji, Danvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna. Is there anybody? I think Prabhuji already joined, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Welcome to Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. I once again welcome all of you to the call. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Gauranga Darshan Prabhuji to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, verse number 6.1.31. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Danvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for giving your valuable time and association to all of us this morning and enlightening us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. Before I hand over the call to you, Prabhuji, I request Aditi Mataji for a brief introduction of Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances, His Grace Gauranga Darshan Prabhuji. This is a brief introduction for His Grace Gauranga Darshan Prabhuji. He is a disciple of His Holiness Radha Swami, is the Associate Dean of Academics Affairs of the Bhakti Vidyapit Research Center at Govardhan Eco Village. He is a member of ISKCON Board of Examination. He holds a master degree from the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. He teaches Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Chaitanya Charitam, and Vaishnav character courses at Govardhan Eco Village and at several places in India. Gauranga Darshan Prabhuji has written several books, including Gita Subodhini, Bhagavata Subodhini, Chaitanya Subodhini, Disapproved but Not Disowned, Bhagavat Pravaha, and Gita, the Jewel Box. He has special fondness for reciting and meditating on spiritual verses and has compiled shloka books, namely Gita Ratnamala, Bhagavata Ratnamala, Chaitanya Ratnamala, and Bhagavata Tattvamala. He also runs a free monthly e-magazine called Bhagavata Pradipika and regularly writes educational and devotional articles that also appear in the Back to Godhead magazine and multi-Indian language editions. He's known for his lucid spiritual talks with captivating visuals and also presentations that give a bird's eye view of an entire book of a section. So far, he's delivered over 4,500 hours of spiritual discourses. He has guided several students in their sastric study. He also oversees the deity worship at Govardhan Eco Village. Over to you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Aditi Mataji. Hare Krishna, Gauranga Darshan Prabhuji. Please take over the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatirandhasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishnapresthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namini. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharani Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarani. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. My humble respects to all the devotees who have assembled for this session here today. Today we are reading from the 6th canto of Bhagavatam, 1st chapter, 31st shloka. Vikarshatontara hridayad dasi patimajamilam yamapreshyan vishnuduta varayam asurojasa. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. The order carriers of Yamaraj were snatching the soul from the core of the heart of Ajamila, the husband of the prostitute. But with resounding voices, the messengers of Lord Vishnu, the Vishnu Dutas, forbade them to do so. Purport. May I request any devotee to read the purport? If someone would like to read. I'll just save some energy throat.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I can read the purport if you may allow me.
Yes.
Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. A Vaishnava, one who has surrendered to the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu, is also protected by Lord Vishnu's order carriers because Ajamil had chanted the holy name of Narayana. The Vishnu Dutas not only immediately arrived on the spot, but also at once ordered the Yamaduta not to touch him. By speaking with resounding voices, the Vishnu Dutas threatened to punish the Yamadutas if they continue trying to snatch Ajamil's soul from his heart. The order carriers of Yamaraja have jurisdictions over all sinful living entities, but the messengers of Lord Vishnu, the Vishnu Dutas, are capable of punishing everyone, including Yamaraja, if he wrongs a Vaishnava. Materialistic scientists do not know where to find the soul within the body with their material instruments. This verse clearly explains that the soul is within the core of the heart, Hridaya. It is the form, the heart, that the Yamadutas were extracting the soul of Ajamila. Similarly, we learn that the super soul, Lord Vishnu, is also situated within the heart, Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam, Hridaya Desha Arjuna Stithati. In the Upanishads, it is said that the super soul and the individual soul are living in the same tree of the body as two friendly birds. The super soul is said to be friendly because the supreme personality of Godhead is so kind to the original soul that when the original soul transmigrates from one body to another, the Lord goes with him. Furthermore, according to the desire and karma of the individual soul, the Lord, through the agency of Maya, creates another body for him. The heart of the body is mechanical arrangement, as the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, verse 18. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hridaya desha arjuna stitati prananayam brahmanayam sarva bhutani yatra rudani mayaya. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directed the wandering of living entities who are seated as on a machine made of the material energy. Yantras means a machine, such as the automobile. The driver of the machine of the body is the individual soul, who is also its director or proprietor. But the supreme proprietor is the supreme personality of Godhead. One's body is carried through the agency of Maya, karma, deva, netrana. And according to one's activities in this life, another vehicle is created, again under the supervision of Devya Maya, Divya Hai Sa, Gunamaya, Mama Maya, Duratyaya. At the appropriate time, one's next body is immediately chosen, and both the individual soul and the super soul transfer to the particular bodily machine. This is the process of transmigration during transmigration from one body to the next. The soul is taken away by the order careers of Yamaraja and put into a particular type of hellish life, Naraka, in order to become accustomed to the condition in which he will live in his next body. Hare Krishna. Over to you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So in this shloka, Sukadeva Goswami is describing that our Ajamil was about to be taken to hell by the Yamadutas. So Ajamil was born in a good Brahmana family, but because of bad association with a prostitute, he has lost all his Brahmanical qualities and he behaved like an ordinary thief or rogue. He would earn his livelihood by very illegal and unmentionable means, by beating people, cheating people, looting people, gambling, robbing. So that's how he would earn his livelihood. So, and he also started eating the food cooked by that prostitute. So his Brahmanical qualities got degraded because of association with her consciously. Okay, so Ajamil lost all his qualities, good qualities, and he even abandoned his old parents who brought him up very affectionately. He also gave up his chaste wife who is coming from a very respectable Brahmanical family. He has given up all that. So that is all because of his lust. So all this degradation, fall down, begins when we fail to control our senses from the ever distracting sense objects. It's difficult to control the senses, and of course senses also need some kind of enjoyment in this world. As long as we are in the material body, the senses of the body need some kind of comfort, gratification, but that should not be forbidden gratification. We should allow the tongue to eat something. We should allow the ears to hear something pleasant. We should allow the eyes to see something beautiful. We should allow the nose to smell some good fragrance. However, although the senses naturally come in contact with the sense objects in this world, as long as people are there within the bodies, one should not allow the senses to overindulge in sense gratification, especially the sense gratification of a forbidden type. So that makes one become a victim or a slave of senses, and that binds one to the material world for a long time. Okay, so here in the example of Ajamil, we see that just because of his inclination to enjoy with that prostitute, he became so degraded. So when he went to collect some firewood and some grasses and some flowers and fruits for the worship, for the yajna done by his father, on the way he saw this unmentionable obscene thing. So chakshuraga chitta sangha, as soon as someone sees something not very favorable visual for spiritual progress, he gets affected and the mind starts meditating upon it. Dhyayato vishayan pumsan sangasteshopajayate sangat sanjayate kamaha kamat krodho bhijayate. So as you know, the later krodhat bhavati sammoha, sammohat smriti vibhramaha, smriti bhramsat buddhinasho, buddhinasat pranasyati. So you can see these different stages of fall down even in the case of Ajamil. There are another stages, like 10 stages of fall down, which are mentioned in one of these purports only in the 10th canto of Bhagavatam. Chakshuraga, chitta sangha. So one first comes in contact with a sense object by seeing it. Eyes come in contact. Then mind starts meditating upon it, and one starts desiring it very intensely. One becomes shameless one loses one's sleep, one faints, so eventually one dies also. But all these attractions of the senses, if we dovetail in Krishna consciousness, if we dovetail in Bhakti Yoga, then those very senses will take us back to Godhead. Okay. Now, atah Sri Krishna namadi na bhavet grahyam indriyaihi sevonmukhehi jihvado swayameva spuratyada. Atah Sri Krishna namadi. So, there are several wonderful names of Krishna and qualities of Krishna, activities of Krishna. All these divine attributes of Krishna cannot be accessed by simply our material senses. But if we engage those very material senses in Krishna seva, in Krishna service, definitely we will be able to understand Krishna. So, although the senses, material senses do not have the ability to understand Krishna, by engaging those very senses in Krishna seva, we can understand Krishna. How? Because Krishna sees that this person is using this material body not for sense gratification but for my seva. Krishna agrees to reveal himself. Swayameva spuratyada. So Krishna himself reveals. So spiritual understanding or spiritual realization is not a product of research. It's a product of revelation. Okay. So Krishna has to reveal himself, not that we research and find him with our intellectual abilities or mental abilities or sensual abilities, right? So here Krishna's kindness is seen. Bhagavatam describes several great stories of great personalities like great kings. First canto, if you see who is described in Bhagavatam in the first canto, Parikshit Maharaj, Emperor of the earth, Yudhishthir Maharaj, Bhishma Dev, Narada Muni, Vyasa Dev, these are all different universal celebrities. Second canto, you see the story of Brahma, Vishnu. Then third canto, you see Swayambhuva Manu, again Brahma. Then Priyavrata Maharaj, then Uttanapada Maharaj, fourth, fifth cantos, Daksha, Dhruva, Prachetas, Anga Maharaj, Prithu Maharaj, and up to fifth canto, Bhagavatam has been describing several universal celebrities, very big personalities. But sixth canto beginning comes with a simple Brahmana, right? So this Brahmana Ajamil was not a Manu, was not Brahma, was not a Devata, was not a Chakravarti of the earthly planet, is not any Gandharva, Kinnara, Kimpurusha. He is a simple Brahmana, okay, in a small place called Kanjikubja. So Ajamil's mistake ruined his own life because he is a simple Brahmana. But Diti's mistake, Diti is the wife of Kashyapa Muni, and she was the daughter of Prajapati. She was the wife of a Prajapati when she became afflicted with lust and approached her husband at the time of sunset. She happened to give birth to two big demons, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. So because she is in a very high position, she also has a very high responsibility to behave well. Well, Ajamil's mistake ruined his own life. Diti's mistake caused trouble to the entire universe, to the Devatas, to the sages, to the Brahmanas, to women, innocent children. Everyone was troubled because of Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, because Diti did a mistake, right? So the more we advance in our spiritual life and the more our age increases and the more we get position and power, etc., the more is our responsibility towards the society and towards our own life. So our mistakes do not affect only ourselves, they will affect multiple people. Okay, so that's the distinction that we can see between Ajamil and Diti. So anyways, coming to Ajamil's case, Ajamil could not use his senses in Krishna's service after he has seen that prostitute. He overly indulged in sense gratification with her, and he became deviated from all Brahmanical principles. Somehow, by his good fortune, Ajamil could name his son as Narayana. So, because of that, Prabhupada writes in one purport, when parents name their children with some names of God, names of the Lord, and by calling these children with love and affection, they will become purified. So, when we name one's son as Govinda, Krishna, Rama, Madhusudana, Trivikrama, Vamana, like that, Krishna Das, Ramadas. So, by calling Krishna, come here, Ram, come here, Govinda, come here, Madhav, come here, so they become purified. Or when they get daughters, they may name her as Radha, or Kishori, Lakshmi, then Rajeshwari, like that, Yashoda, like that. By calling the associates of the names of the Lord's associates, they become purified. So, like that, in the great Indian culture, in the Vedic culture, so people used to give auspicious names to their children, so that by chanting those names, they become purified. So, Ajamil's good fortune is that he named his son as Narayana. Although Ajamil was 88 years old at this moment, he still had his little baby son, okay, hardly 2-3 years old or maybe less than that. Exact age is not mentioned, but he is a very small child, right? So, Ajamil had such a young son, very small toddler. So, but Ajamil constantly chanted Narayana, 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 not with devotion to Lord Narayana, but affection for his son. So, whenever Ajamil was drinking, he would call, Narayana, come and drink this. Whenever he was eating, he would say, Narayana, come and eat this. Whenever he is sleeping, Narayana, it's time to sleep, please come and sleep. Okay. So, like that, he would constantly chant Narayana, Narayana, Narayana very affectionately. Even once, if one chants the names of the Lord with pure affection, pure love, one becomes purified. So, Ajamil chanted the name of Narayana with pure affection so many times, hundreds of times, thousands of times, till the child was named as Narayana till the time of his death. Now, Ajamil was lying on his deathbed and these Yamadutas came. Yamadutas were snatching Ajamil's soul from the core of his heart, as Prabhupada writes in the purport. And he also makes another point in the purport, as we were hearing some time back, that the place of this soul within this material body is the heart. And along with the soul, there is super soul also in the same heart. And Prabhupada also reminds us of those statements of Upanishads, that the soul and the super soul are like two birds on the tree of this body. One bird enjoys the fruits of the tree, another bird just witnesses how is he enjoying, okay, and waits for that other bird, the Jiva bird, to turn towards the Lord and take to devotion. So he's waiting. So the Lord is so merciful that although he allows the conditioned soul, stubborn conditioned soul, to pursue such gratificatory desires, still he waits for their return. So many people have this kind of doubt that why should the Lord allow people to commit sinful activities? He is there, directly there as Paramatma within hearts of everybody. Why should he allow anyone to unnecessarily indulge in some sinful activities? Can't he control them? Can't he manipulate their minds? Yes, of course he can do that. But if he does it, where is the role of our independence? The Lord is supremely independent because we are his parts and pulses. Mama evamsho jiva loke jiva bhutah sanatanaha. Because we are little amshas of the Lord, we also have some independence. He is supremely independent and we are minutely independent. So Krishna sanctions that minute independence upon us. He doesn't interfere with that independence after that. So Krishna never interferes with that little independence that we have, because if he interferes with that independence also, then where is the question of any what to say, love, voluntary love? So love has to be voluntary and not forced. Krishna doesn't want to accept any forced love from anybody. So I give you independence. If you use that independence, if you use that little free will, if you use that little ability to desire to serve me, then I'll be happy. Okay. Krishna doesn't need our service, but still Krishna is eager for our love and affection. On the birthday of a mother or a father, the child may go to the garden and then pluck some flowers and make a little bouquet and then gift it to the mother. Mother will be very happy. Not that the mother is in need of those flowers, but mother is accepting the child's affection. Similarly, all our offerings that we make to Krishna are not we are not making them because Krishna needs them, but they are like comparison is given in Bhagavatam first canto. They are like offering lamp to the sun. What will the sun do with your lamp? He is the source of all heat and all light, and we are offering little lamp, little flame that can generate little heat and little light. He doesn't need anything, but the worshipper is offering gratitude. It's an expression of gratitude. It's an expression of affection and love. So Krishna accepts it. Of course, when a worshipper worships a devata, then there may be an expectation of something in return. But pure devotional service unto the Supreme Lord Krishna is done without any material expectations. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhaktipahritam ashnami prayatatmanah. So whatever a devotee may offer to the Lord, he offers it upahritam, as a gift to the Lord. When you offer a gift to the Lord, you don't expect anything in return. That is selfless. Upahritam means to gift. When you gift something to your friend, you don't expect anything. Otherwise, it's not a gift only. Okay. Tadaham bhakti upahritam. Bhakti word is used 2 times and upahritam word is used once. So with devotion, with love, with affection, devotees offer something to the Lord as a gift, as a present, without any material expectations. Right? So when that kind of pure affection is there, Krishna is very happy and pleased. That's why Krishna doesn't force anyone. So when somebody is so stubborn and very much bent upon performing some sinful activities, Krishna reluctantly gives them permission. Okay, fine, go. What can I do? You want to do that? Please go and do the needful. So similarly, like many people who are performing some bad activities and exhibiting some kind of demonic tendencies, it's not that Krishna wants them to do. Ultimately, it has to be sanctioned by Krishna and facilitated by Krishna's energy, Prakriti only. But it's not Krishna's desire to sanction them. It is the living being's desire. And the Lord allows them to exercise their desires without obstructing those desires. Otherwise, what is the point of free will? So Krishna doesn't interfere with our free will. When we do some sinful activities or some kind of mischievous activities, we are exercising our free will. So once you perform that activity, then you will have to incur that result. That's not in our hands. Okay. So now if you perform this activity, this is the result. If you perform this activity, this is the result. That are fixed. But you always have an opportunity to choose either this activity or that activity. That choice is given to us. Many times it's restricted according to our body and our external conditioning. But within all those restrictions, there is some kind of free will that we have. Now we are restricted. We cannot fly like siddhas, like the birds, like eagles, like vultures. But we can walk on the land. While walking on the land, we have some independence. So independence is given. Star conditions apply. Okay, this much independence is given to this living being according to what this person deserves, according to what he has done before. Okay, so like that, the Lord sanctions some independence to us to fulfill our desires. He doesn't interfere with that independence. So now Ajamil had all good intelligence. He had all Vedic knowledge also with him, but he could not protect himself from all that knowledge. The reason that Acharyas give is he did not have association. When he was seeing that unmentionable scene, he was doing it alone. He was not doing it publicly. That Shudra and that low class man and that dasi, that prostitute, they were embracing each other publicly on the road. They were drunk also. Their eyes were rolling. So in such a dirty state, Ajamil happened to look at them, and no one is there to stop. Hey, don't look there. Come here, come here. No one was there to control him. So he could see that scene, obscene, alone. And because of that, of course, he also tried to control his mind and his eyes by remembering all the knowledge that he has acquired from the Shastras, but that could not protect him. Right? He did not have necessary determination. Although we may study and we may be able to perform some bhakti alone to some degree, but without association of devotees, we cannot save ourselves from any anarthas or distractions, right? So we need to constantly keep ourselves in the sangha of Vaishnavas. Then we will be able to protect ourselves from all allurements. So Bharat Maharaj was distracted because of the deer. Why? He did not have lust. He did not have envy. He did not have pride. He did not have greed. But he was distracted because he had compassion. So Maya is so powerful that Maya can take advantage of our good qualities also and distract us from bhakti. What to speak of bad qualities? Somebody has some kind of bad qualities, some lust is there, some envy is there, all the traces are still existent. Although we have been practicing bhakti for a long time, still the traces of anarthas are still there. Sometimes it's not traces, very grossly they are there. So Maya can pull us out, pull those anarthas out of us many times, right? So, but we can protect ourselves from those anarthas to the degree we take shelter of Vaishnava Sangha, to the degree we hear from them, to the degree we try to apply their teachings in our practical life. So Ajamil did not have that. Bharat did not have that. Okay. So he became affected by this association of this prostitute. But his good fortune is he named his son as Narayana. And he started chanting the names of Narayana, 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 Narayana hundreds and thousands of times with great affection, with pure affection. And by such pure, affectionate chanting of the holy name of Narayana, although unintentionally, he became purified, completely purified. Now when he was on the deathbed, the Yamadutas came to take him to hell, and again he was chanting Narayana, Narayana, now in a helpless state. He was helplessly chanting Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. So, because he committed sinful activities with body, mind and words, 3 Yamadutas came to take him. Because he chanted the holy name of Narayana, okay, 4 syllables, 4 Vishnudutas came to take him to protect him from hell, not immediately take him to Vaikuntha. He still has something to perform. He was only given second chance. He was not immediately taken back to Vaikuntha, right? Otherwise, people will think that, okay, I will do whatever I want throughout my life. At the time of death, I will chant Narayana. I will go to Vaikuntha. No, he was given a second chance. He was not immediately taken to Vaikuntha. So, anyways, Ajamil chanted with affection earlier. Now, Ajamil chanted with in a helpless state of existence. That chanting completely purified him. So, Krishna is such a kind master that is constantly seeing some opportunity, looking for some opportunity to show some mercy upon us. Oh, Ajamil never called me, he was calling his son. But his son is not Narayana. Ajamil said Narayana, but his son is not Narayana. Who's Narayana? I am Narayana. I am not different from my name. When he said Narayana, that Narayana is me, that name is me, so I should respond. Okay, Vishnu, just come here, go and protect Ajamil. Narayana had sent them. Okay, and who is that? Putana. Putana came to kill Krishna with her poisonous milk. She came in the form of a mother, very trustworthy, beautiful mother, and was a very lovingly picking up the little baby Krishna, who was hardly a few days old, and kept him on her lap and started feeding her milk like a mother. Her attire was like that of a mother. Her activity was like that of a mother, but her attitude was like a witch. Krishna saw these two. Krishna ignored this one and gave her the position of a mother in the spiritual world. Ahobakiyam stanakalakutam jighamsaya payayadapya sadhvaye lebhe gatim dhatruchitam tatonyam kam vadayalum sharanam vrajema. Ahobakiyam stanakalakutam. This Baki, this witch, this demoness has smeared such poison on her body and wanted to kill this infant baby Krishna, but Krishna has given her the position of a mother nurse as the assistant of Mother Yashoda in the spiritual world. Kam vadayalum sharanam vrajema. Who else could be more merciful than Krishna? And in the case of Ajamila, he did not even chant. He did not even call Narayana. He was calling his son, but still he came and protected him. Gajendra, he did not even take his name also. He offered some prayer in which the qualities of the Lord are described, and the Lord said, oh, these qualities are matching my qualities. Let me go and save him. In Gajendra's case, qualities matched. In the case of Ajamil, the name matched. In the case of Putana, the attire and activity matched with the mother's activity and mother's attire. So Krishna found some little reason to show some mercy upon demons also, what to speak of devotees. Right? Padbhyam bhakta hridistabhyam vandyabhyam lokavanditaihi angam yasyaha samakramya bhagavanapi tatstanam yatu dhanyapi sasvarga bhavapa janani gatim Krishna bhuktasthana kshiraha kimu gavonu mataraha. Padbhyam bhakta hridistabhyam. The Lord's beautiful divine lotus feet are always there within the hearts of all his devotees. Bhakta hridistabhyam vandyabhyam lokavanditaihi. All the great personalities will offer obeisances to those divine lotus feet. Angam yasyaha samakramya. Putana did not simply get the touch of Krishna's lotus feet. Krishna was embracing Putana completely. Where did she get such a great fortune? How did he get that kind of, how did she get that kind of fortune? That is Krishna's mercy. Our fortune is Krishna's mercy. Not that we earn it. Right? Yeah, we may earn it also, but we should not think that because of my effort, my endeavor, I now got this fortune. Yeah, you may put your efforts, but ultimately Krishna has to sanction it. Just by our efforts, nothing will happen. So something will happen, but the credit goes to Krishna. Unless Krishna sanctions, efforts will not become fruitful. So in the case of Putana, Krishna showed that kind of mercy to Putana. In the case of Ajamila also, Krishna showed this kind of mercy. And the Lord is always looking for some reason or the other to show some mercy upon his devotees. So in Ajamil's case, the Lord has very nicely sent his devotees to protect him. So in the third canto of Bhagavatam, the shloka comes, Kaumodaki bhagavato daitam smareta digdhamarati bhatashonita kardamena malam madhurata varutha giropaghushtam chaityasya tattvamamalam manimasya kanthe. Kaumodaki bhagavato daitam smareta. So Kaumodaki Gada, the Lord's Kaumodaki Gada is constantly protecting the devotees. It's always tainted with the blood of demons, because whenever demons come to attack the devotees, the Kaumodaki Gada will hit them, will punish them. So that's the nature of the Lord's Gada, Kaumodaki Gada. So the Lord is using his Sudarshan Chakra to always protect his devotees. How Durvasa Muni has created a fiery demon to kill Ambarish Maharaj. Why? Ambarish took little water to break his fast, just to honor his Ekadashi Vrata. Okay, and taking water is not even considered like breaking fast, exactly from one sense. But this Durvasa Muni was so ferocious for that, and he wanted to kill Ambarish Maharaj. Right? So, but Sudarshan Chakra came and killed that fiery demon, burned that fiery demon. Fire was burnt now, okay, and started chasing Durvasa Muni. So the Lord holds Shankha Chakra not as decoration, to always protect his devotees. The Lord Shankha and Chakra and Gada, Gada and Chakra, these two are weapons. Okay, Shankha is just a blow, conch shell. Even that also, when he blows his conch shell, he is beginning the war between good and evil. Then he is empowering all the Pandavas, right? So when Krishna blew his conch shell, that marks the victory of the Pandavas. Okay, so like that, the Lord holds all these auspicious things in his hands just to create auspiciousness in the lives of his devotees, right? So that's why he also says, Yamaraj says to Yamadutas, he says, Te deva siddha parigita pavitra gatha ye sadhavas samadrisho bhagavat prapannah तान्नोपसीदत हरेर गदया भिगुप्तान नैशाम्वयम prabhavam dandi. Deva, Siddhas, all these great personalities glorify the good fortune of devotees. Yes, Adhavaha Samadrisho Bhagavat Prapanna. All these great sadhus, Samadrisha, they have that equanimity. Bhagavat Prapanna, they're completely surrendered to the Supreme Lord Bhagavan. Okay. Tannopasidata, please approach them. Why? Harir Gadahya Abhiguptan, because they're constantly protected by the Gada of Lord Hari. I cannot affect them. Yamaraj says. Here in this purport, if I remember right, Prabhupada even said that Vishnudutas can even punish Yamadutas and Yamaraj also if they commit any offense to the devotees. Okay. Ajamila is a devotee now. Although Ajamila performed so many sinful activities, that name, unconscious chanting of the name of Narayana has completely purified Ajamila. And in fact, it's an offenseless chanting. What is offense to holy name? One offense is to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. It's an offense. Did Ajamil perform any sinful activities on the strength of holy name? He was chanting Narayana, 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 and he was committing sinful activities also. But he never correlated them. He never committed any sin thinking that my chanting will eradicate it. So to put it in another way, he never chanted Narayana to eradicate his sins, right? He never committed a sin thinking that holy name will protect me, and he never chanted holy name thinking that I will save myself from the sinful reactions, okay, reactions to my sinful activities. He never did that. So these two kinds of offenses Ajamil never committed. So the chanting that is done by Ajamil is, number one, offenseless. Number two, affectionate. Number three, helpless. So he did not commit any offenses to the holy name. Although he was committing sinful activities, one chanting of holy name can completely eradicate all of them. Now, not just one, he's chanting so many times Narayana, 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 so many times he's chanting Narayana. Okay. Secondly, Ajamil called Narayana with affection towards his son, but fine. Utterance of Narayana is affection, and that name Narayana is not different from Narayana. Krishna caught that logic. Then he also chanted with an anxious state of mind, helpless state of mind, at the time when Ajamil was being caught by the Yamadutas, right? So that's why Yamaraj told these people, Yamadutas, Jihva navakti bhagavad gunanama dheyam chetascha nasmarati taccharanarvindam Krishnaya no namati yachira ekadapi tananavadhamasato Vishnu krityan. Jihva navakti bhagavad gunanama dheyam, one who has not spoken or uttered the name Krishna even once in their life should go to hell. Jihvana Vakti Bhagavad Gunanama Dheyam Chetascha Smarati Tat Charanarvindam. Within their minds, if one has not meditated on the lotus feet of the Lord even once, let them go to hell. And what else? Krishnaya no namati yachira ekadapi. If one has not offered obeisances to Krishna even once, we should bring them to hell. The Yamaraj is instructing the Yamadutas. So, why? Because Tan anavadham asato akrita Vishnu krutyan. Because they have not done any Vishnu krutyas. Yeah, this is the shloka. They have not done any Vishnu Krityas, anything related to Lord Vishnu they have not done. So let them come to hell. So in this way, the Lord protects his devotees and he appoints his pure devotees. The Lord protects his practicing devotees or quote unquote devotees who unconsciously perform devotional service. The Lord appoints his pure devotees to protect such people. So Vishnu Dutas are as independent as Vishnu also. So they can punish Yamaraj also. They can punish Yamadutas also. They came and then cut the ropes of Yamadutas. So these Vishnu Dutas are like military officers. Yamadutas are like local police constables. Okay, they have jurisdiction over people nearby. Okay, in their locality. Like one town, two town, they say, right? So one police constable in one area may not be able to arrest someone in another area. Somebody in Andhra cannot arrest somebody in Karnataka, something like that. Okay, I don't know the exact protocols, but they have a limited capacity. But Vishnu Dutas are like military officers, right? They are saving the whole country. They have more power. Okay, they have more skill. So now Yamadutas are authorized police constables on behalf of Yamaraj to punish sinful people. But Vishnu Dutas are the authorized representatives of Lord Vishnu. They can come and they can change the actions of Yamadutas also, right? So when an innocent devotee is being punished by the Yamadutas unnecessarily, when he is being taken to hell unnecessarily, how can Lord Vishnu tolerate? How can Lord Vishnu's devotees tolerate? So the devotees cannot tolerate. So immediately when Vishnu Dutas came and protected. And this is the nature of a devotee. Devotees are paradukha dukhi. They cannot see even conditioned souls and sinful people suffering in hell. What to speak of a innocent devotee suffering in hell? So Parikshit Maharaj, why this whole Ajamila episode came in Bhagavatam? Because Parikshit Maharaj became compassionate on all conditioned souls and sinful souls, not even devotee like Ajamila. So at the end of 5th canto of Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami described the characteristics of so many hellish planets. Okay, so hearing all that, spontaneously Parikshit Maharaj became deeply compassionate. Okay, he became very deeply compassionate and he immediately asked, how can the humanity be saved from entering hellish planets? Why not animals? Animals can never go to hell. They have no karma only. They are just going through this evolutionary cycle. They don't have karma. Human beings can perform karma, and if they do bad karma, they will do sinful activities, they will go to hell. So how can these human beings be protected from entering hell? Parikshit asked this question. In response to that, this entire Ajamila episode has come. What is that shloka? The key shloka. Sakrin manah Krishna padaravindayor. So vachamsi vaikuntha. No. Sakrin manah Krishna padaravindayor. Niveshitam tad gunaragi yairiham. Nate yamam pasha bhatascha tad bhatan. Swapnepi pashyanti hichirna nishkritaha. This is 19th sloka of this chapter. So Sakran Manaha Krishna Padara Vindayor, even if once we remember the lotus feet of Krishna, we don't have to see Yamadutas even in dreams. Okay. Nate Yamam Pasha Bhatascha Tad Bhatan. Yama Bhatas means Yama soldiers, Yamadutas cannot come even closer to those people even in dreams. If we chant and Tad Gunaraja Iriha, if you take pleasure in discussion of qualities of the Supreme Lord Hari. Okay, so this entire Ajamila episode is spoken in response to Parikshit Maharaj's compassionate question. So devotees are compassionate even on fallen souls, conditioned souls, sinful souls, materialistic people. How can such devotees tolerate when an innocent, purified devotee like Ajamila is being taken to hell? They could not tolerate. There is Vasudeva Datta in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. He goes to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and says, my dear Lord, I am unable to see people suffering in this material world. Let me suffer on their behalf. Please give me the sinful reactions of all sinful people. I will carry them on my head. I will go to hell and suffer for thousands and thousands of years, if that is what is expected of them. But you please take them back to Godhead. You please deliver them. This is Vasudeva Datta's prayer. Even Prahalad says, Naiva dvije paraduratyaya vaitaranyah Tvadvirya gayana mahamrita magna chitta Sochetato vimukhachetas indriyartha Maya sukhaya bharamudvahato vimudhan. He says, Naiva dvije paraduratyaya vaitaranyah. My dear Lord, I have absolutely no miseries. Why? Tadvirya gayana mahamrita magna chittaha. My chitta, my consciousness, I have completely immersed in the ocean of nectarian discussions of your holy name. Right? Magna chittaha. Tadvirya gayana. When you sing the glories of the Supreme Lord Krishna, your consciousness becomes immersed in that ocean of nectar, and one will not experience any material anxieties. So there is another shloka. Anyways, let me complete this shloka. Tadvirya gayana mahamrita magna chittaha soche tato vimukha chetasa indriyartha. But although I personally don't have any difficulties because of relishing Krishna Katha, still I have one problem. The problem is I am unable to see these vimudhas, these foolish people unnecessarily chasing material sensual pleasures and wasting their human forms of life. So chetato vimukha chetasa, because they are vimukha chetasa, they have turned their faces away from Krishna. Okay, indriyartha, and they turn their faces away from Krishna and doing what? They are chasing indriyartha, sense objects. Maya sukhaya, to experience illusory happiness. Maya sukhaya bharamudvahato vimudhan. The Maya sukha is not something that is experienced happily. That Maya Sukha is something which is carried like a big burden on one's head, right? See, when there is some 100 kilos thing on your head like this, and you have to constantly carry it. Such a difficulty, great difficulty, isn't it? So people are thinking that I am experiencing happiness, but actually they are carrying big burden, such a huge burden of Maya Sukha on their head. Maya sukhaya bharamudhato vimudhan. Vimudha is a animal, like a donkey. So what does a farmer do? He takes a donkey and he puts some, he takes one stick, hangs some carrot there, okay, puts it on the, fixes it on the donkey itself, and the donkey would just, was running or walking with the anticipation that I can eat this little carrot, right? But as it is walking, the carrot is also moving forward, right? And while doing this, it's carrying hundreds and hundreds of kilos of load on his back, whatever number of kilos. So, bharamudvahato vimudhan, I'm carrying the burden. So, Krishna is feeling that, this foolish person is carrying the burden of Maya Sukha. But if he takes my shelter, I will carry the burden of his maintenance. Right? Krishna is willing to carry our burden, but we want to carry the burden of Maya. That's the whole issue. What is that shloka? Ananyas chintayanto mam ye janaha paryupasati tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. Vahamyaham. I will take care of the responsibility or the burden of the maintenance of my devotee. Krishna says that, Krishna promises that yogakshemam vahamyaham, right? So Maya sukhaya bharamudvahato vimudhan. Here this vimudha, without understanding Krishna's love and affection and compassion upon him, is ignoring Krishna, and in ignorance he is embracing Maya sukha and carrying that burden on his head. So this is the misfortune of a conditioned soul. So Maya sukhaya bharamudvahato vimudhan, and seeing that misfortune, the devotees like Prahalad are lamenting. they're feeling so unhappy. Devangars do not have any distresses. Why? Because they're absorbed in Krishna Katha. Tad virya gayana mahamrita magna chitta. As long as you're experiencing the nectar of Krishna Katha, you will not experience any material tribulations. That's what Bhagavatam promised right in the beginning. Dharma projita kaitavotra paramo nirmat saranam satam vedyam vastavam atra vastu shabadam tapatrayon Bhagavatam approves tapatrayas, all the threefold material miseries. Bhagavatam, this book Bhagavatam will equip our consciousness with the necessary maturity to see misery in this world as mercy of Krishna, and there is no experience of tribulations. So when we take shelter of Bhagavatam, Bhagavatam terminates our tribulations. Bhagavatam transforms our consciousness. Especially when we receive those teachings transparently from the teachers, from the great acharyas, then Bhagavatam transforms our consciousness and terminates all our tribulations. So, devotee doesn't have any issues. Iti nandadayo gopaha Krishna Rama katha muda kurvanto ramavanascha navindam bhava vedanam. Iti nandadayo gopaha, Nanda Maharaj and all the other gopas are constantly experiencing some demon attacks in Vrindavan. Aghasur comes and swallows all the boys, and Bakasur comes and swallows Krishna himself, and Vatsasur comes and becomes a little calf and then joins the calves and then wants to kill Krishna. Pralambasur comes and carries Balramji away, and who else? Kaliya comes and makes all the waters of Yamuna poisonous. Okay, so Tranavarta comes and picks up babies and goes away. Putana comes and poisons children. So like that, so many demons are constantly attacking. But the Vrajavasis never experienced material tribulations because Krishna Rama Kathamudo Kurvanto Ramamanascha. Because they're constantly discussing about Krishna and Balaram, they have not experienced any material anxieties. Right? Navindam Bhavavedanam, no material anxieties for a devotee who is absorbed in Harikatha. And Bhagavatam is written for that purpose. Yasyam Vaisruya Banayam Krishne Parabapurushe Bhaktirutpadyate Pumsaha Shoka Moha Bhayapaha. When we hear Srimad Bhagavatam, what happens? Krishne Paramapurushe Bhaktirutpadyate. Love for Krishna increases in our heart. And by that, Shoka, lamentation, Moha, illusion, Bhaya, fear. All these three things are completely destroyed. So this is the way of protecting oneself from all the material tribulations. But all the devotees are completely protected from all material tribulations by dint of their absorption in Harikatha. When they see common conditioned souls suffering because of material miseries, they become very concerned. And that's how Vasudeva Datta expressed that concern, Parikshit Maharaj expressed that concern, and Prahlad Maharaj expressed that concern, right? And that's why this whole episode of Ajamila is coming in Bhagavatam. Okay, so how to come out of it? And although devotees are concerned, how exactly they express their concern and what do they do out of their concern? Basically, what they do is they inspire the common conditioned souls to take shelter of Krishna by Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, and other processes of bhakti. So, devotee's activity is to involve oneself in Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam and inspire others in doing the same thing. That's all we need to do. Nothing else. Everything else Krishna will take care. Chintayami harimeva santatam mandahasa muditana nambujam nandagopatanayam paratparam naradadi munivrinda vanditam chintayami harimeva santatam. Just like Prahlad is also constantly thinking about Lord Hari. Harimeva santatam mandahasa muditana nambujam. Mandahasa, the gentle smiles of Lord Hari. He is showering his affectionate glances with his gentle smiles upon all the devotees who come to pray to Krishna. So remembering such beautiful face, devotees' hearts are completely nourished. Nandagopa Tanayam Paratparam. He is Nandagopa Tanaya, he is the son of Nanda Maharaj, but Paratparam, he is the supreme absolute truth. Naradadi Munivrinda Vanditam. He is worshipped by great sages like Narada Muni. So in this way, devotees absorb their minds in the glories of the Lord, in the qualities of the Lord, in the names of the Lord. Thus, they become immune to all kinds of material tribulations. When we absorb our minds in such beautiful glories of the Lord, then there is no need for us to visit hell. Okay. So there's some power cut here in GAV. Okay. So like that, there are many other shlokas. There is one shloka in the Padyavali. भांडीरे शशिखंड मंड नवरा श्रीखंड लिप्तांग हे वृंदारण्य पुरंदर स्फुरद मंदेन्दीवर श्यामल कालिंदी प्रिय नंद नंदन परानंदारविंदेक्षण श्री गोविंद मुकुंद सुंदर तनो मां दीनमानंदया. Bhandiresha, a very beautiful shloka that ends in a very sweet message that we need to absorb our minds in Krishna, who has such beautiful qualities, beautiful attributes, beautiful form, beautiful names. Bhandiresha shikhanda manda navara shri khanda liptanga he. Bhandiresha means, oh Krishna, you are the master of Bhandirvan. There are so many forests in Vraja area, right? Vraja Mandala. One is Bhandirvan. Bhandiresha Shikhanda Manda Navara. Oh Krishna, oh Bhandiresha, Shikhanda Manda Navara. Your beautiful head is decorated with a very excellent shining rainbow-like peacock feather. Shri Khanda Liptanga He. And your limbs are very nicely anointed with sandalwood paste. Vrindaranya Purandara Spuradamandindivara Shyamala. Vrindaranya, in this Vrindavan, in Vrindaranya. Purandara Spuradamanda means in this Vrindavan, you are appearing in this dark complexion. Indivara Shyamala. Indivara refers to that beautiful blue lotus bathed in moonlight, and Krishna's bodily complexion is like that of a beautiful blue lotus bathed in moonlight. Kalindi Priyananda Nandana Paranandaravindeksha. Kalindi Priya, you are so fond of Yamuna, and Yamuna is also fond of you. Okay. Nanda Nandana Parananda Aravindekshana, you are filled with transcendental joy, spiritual bliss. O Aravindekshana, O lotus-eyed Lord. Shri Govinda Mukunda Sundaratano Mam Dinamanandaya. O Govinda, O Mukunda, Sundaratano, O Lord who has such beautiful, handsome body. Mam Dinamanandaya. I am Dinam, I am a very poor fellow. Please give me also some Ananda, spiritual Ananda. So let me not become happy by experiencing some material pleasures. Let me not find Ananda in chasing sensual pleasures. Let me find Ananda in serving you, in seeing you, in thinking of you, in serving you, and in inspiring others to serve you. So this is the ecstasy of great devotees in comparison to the poor mentality of conditioned souls. So like the devotees take pleasure in devotional service, and they also inspire others to take a similar pleasure. And in all these wonderful episodes, we need to recognize Krishna's mercy, Krishna's kindness. As Prabhupada says in this purport, if I remember rightly, Prabhupada said that when the conditioned soul goes from one body to another body, the Lord is kind enough to accompany that person. So even if the living being commits such sinful activities and enters non-human species or takes birth in Patal Loka or Sutala Loka or Bhuloka or Svarga Loka, or within the depths of earth as a worm or as bacteria or as an insect or whatever, still the Lord continues to stay within the hearts of all living beings as super soul. That shows his affection. That shows that he is interested in reviving his relationship with us. But the issue is, Are we sufficiently interested in reviving our relationship with him? That's the question. So without him, even we cannot maintain ourselves on an individual level or in a cosmic level. He is maintaining the entire universe. Prabhupada quoted this shloka, Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam, twice, if I remember right. Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hriddeshe Arjuna Tishtati Bhramayan Sarva Bhutani Yantra Rudhani Mayaya. So Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam, the Supreme Lord Ishvara, that super soul, stays within the hearts of all living beings. Hriddeshe, within the heart, okay, and directs the wanderings of all the people. So we need to recognize this merciful attitude of the Lord, and we need to inform others also about the Lord's mercy. And great devotees are those people who even take great hardships to communicate this message to common people and to bring them closer to Krishna. Tapyante lokatapena sadhavah prayaso janah paramaradhanam tadhi purushasya akhilatmanah. Tapyante lokatapena. Tapyanti means they undergo a lot of austerities. Devotees undergo a lot of austerities to counteract the tapa, the material miseries of common people. Paramaradhanam tadhi purushasya akhilatmanah. This is parama aradhanam. This kind of extending oneself to show mercy upon common people, to bring them closer to Krishna, is the greatest form of worship of Krishna, as the 8th canto of Bhagavatam says. These are a few thoughts. I think I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much, Prabhuji, for such a wonderful class with all various verses from various scriptures, not only Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, then Padyavali. Everywhere you took the shlokas, and from the starting from Bhagavad Gita, which says about the lust, anger, and which leads to Kama Krodha. So from there you started, and the difference between Ajamila and Diti, you explained so very well. And then you went to explain about the Katha Upanishad, the two birds sitting on a tree. So where one is watching and one is just enjoying the fruits. So which is given in Gita also. And then why God makes us to indulge in the sinful activities, which is that He doesn't want to interfere in our independence. So that's what you told. But if God sees that the independence which is given to us, when we are using our material body in serving Him, then He feels so happy and He will reveal Himself to us. But I don't know how we will, I'm sorry, for me, I will say, how I will get that, I really don't understand. So, and then the Sadhu Sangha is very important, which you told us. So since Ajamil and Bharat Maharaj, they didn't have the Sadhu Sangha, they tend to fall down. And then Maya is very strong. Whenever there is a small gap, Maya will interfere. So always we have to be in the connection with the devotees, and we have to take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, so that the Maya won't catch us. I would remember Jayapataka Swami Maharaj said that always we have to, disciple told that it seems like I'm fully engaged. I don't have even free time. So then Maharaj told that, yeah, that is very good actually, so that you won't fall in Maya. So every time if you are engaged in the service of the Lord, then Maya will not touch you. So devotees are also like that. When we don't chant, then our fellow devotees will ask us, did you chant? Did you read? So in that ways, we will have that consciousness always with Krishna. So that's what I remembered. So when you told, and about the Lord's merciness, which he told in 3 ways, that attitude with Putana, and then name from Ajamil and Gajendra, the quality match. But this one, Prabhuji, this quality match, I didn't understand. So I just want a brief thing about it. So, and then you told it, yeah.
Okay, Gajendra
Yes.
glorified the Lord in his prayers, and he described various qualities of the Lord. So Gajendra did not say, Rama, please come here, Krishna, please come here, Mukunda, Madhava, Madhusudana. He did not take any name of the Lord. But he just enumerated the wonderful qualities of the Lord. The Lord said, "Oh, he's describing my qualities. Actually, he's addressing me, although he's not taking my name. So let me go and protect him."
Okay, like that. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Such a wonderful class with various insights. And devotees, the forum is open for the questions. Please unmute yourself and go ahead with your questions. Prahlad and Prabhuji, please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Mataji, for allowing me to speak. You can hear me? I see. Oh, okay, thank you.
Yes.
I don't have a question. I just want to ask Gauranga Darshan Das Prabhuji, when are our next publications coming? Because I have up to the 9th canto, Subodhini. And, I really like these ones. They are so fabulous kind of compilations, And
Right.
Also the studying and teaching scriptures, it is still coming up. So I'm so eager to get those books. That's my query.
Yes, well, I'm about to complete that, Art of Studying and Teaching Scriptures. That book, I think I'll complete in a couple of days and send for print. I think it should be ready by Janmashtami.
Okay. How about the other, like 10th canto and all that?
And next year, Prabhu, I am caught up in few other.
I'm attending this overview by Bhagavat Mahavidyalaya. Up to 9th canto, they covered, and I was going through all your, Pradeep Bhagavat Subodhini like that. That was going so nice parallel like that, because they are giving us kind of overview. And now we have entered the 10th canto, and I'm lost, without this. So I was so eager to get this one. So anyway, this is great contribution we have from you, Prabhuji, and I'm so grateful about that. Thank you very much for allowing me to speak. Hari Guru.
Thank you so much, Prahlad and Prabhuji. And thank you, Gauranga Darshan Prabhuji, for this Bhagavata Shubodhini books, as Prahlad and Prabhuji told. I have ordered last week, but the 5th canto and 6th canto, I didn't get it. I don't know. I asked also, they told that
Their stock is over, they're reprinting with us. It will be ready.
Okay, Prabhuji. Okay, because now currently we are going through this section, so I just wanted to get over that cantos also so that I could read it. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Shukar Prabhuji, please go ahead.
You are muted, Prabhuji.
Shukar Prabhuji, unmute yourself.
Yeah, it was actually, I could not unmute it. Okay. Hare Krishna, Gauranga Darshan Prabhu, I always listen to your, in the Hare Krishna TV also, you come always with some things. And the best part is, you tell such good slokas, which touches the heart. You select, and like somebody is feeding rasgulla once, then you give sweet misti doi, like that. Every time you keep giving good things. I'm very happy and very proud of you that such good prolific speakers. Now, just tell me, when I am now 63-year-old, from morning 4 o'clock, we're busy in group chanting, and then afterwards, this Bhakti Sangha is having so many programs. Afternoon, the Bhagavatam in Chaitanya, there is no time left in between. And then again, Paranam of this, whatever you teach. But how to remember Krishna 24/7? Without break.
Yes, Prabhu, this is what is...
No, between one class and another, there is a gap. At that time, okay, when I am taking bath, I am Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I am just singing and taking bath. But sometime in between, I go here and there. While eating Mahaprasad, I chant and eat. But there is some gap coming. Make it 24/7 every second. Because you are a pure devotee, you can tell. What can be the technique? There are many devotees who are remembering 24/7. I am not doing that. You can ask them. But what you are doing is such a high standard that I cannot come to that standard in near future. No. Prabhu, please give me some technique to chant 24/7. How to chant 20? The mouth should not stop. Like breathing, it should come. That aspiration, that desire itself is the first step. Okay. So the desire, when our desire is sincere, Krishna will reciprocate with the desire. Yathamam prapadyante tamstathaiva bhajamyaham.
So Krishna will reciprocate with the desire.
Prabhu, the Nama Bhas only we're getting stuck up, Prabhu. The cleaning time, the Nama Bhas where we are, this Anartha Nivritti only, the time is taking a lot of time. The Nishta is not coming.
Prabhu, we can only endeavor from our side. We can desire and we can endeavor. We can offer a prayer to Krishna. Now, remaining things Krishna has to sanction. Okay.
Patiently wait.
Yeah, you are doing to the best of your capacity. So that's amazing. That's very inspiring. And now it's Krishna's responsibility to reciprocate with that. He will do the needful.
I am coming to GEV on 3rd, 4th, 5th from Chennai. All the Sharjah, Dubai, all are coming. So I'll get a chance to meet you, Gauranga Prabhu and all. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Lalitangi Mataji, please go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Outgoing Srila Prabhupada. So beautiful class, Prabhuji. We are very, very grateful to you. It's like the shlokas are so nectarian, and when you explain the shlokas, it fills the heart. So, Prabhuji, the two questions are: one is that Ajamila was constantly chanting Narayana. So he must have been absolved of all the sins because he was not offensively chanting even when he was calling his son. So why there was a need for Yamadutas to come at all in the first place?
Oh, that's a miscalculation on their part. That's why they got feedback. Okay, that's a miscalculation. And later, Yamaraj also begged forgiveness on behalf of Yamadutas and said, "Oh, we did a mistake, we offended your pure devotee, please forgive." So Yamadutas coming there was wrong. Okay, just like when Nanda Maharaj went to take bath in Yamuna, one of the servants of Varuna comes and then kidnaps him, isn't it? So, and his reason is Nanda Maharaj is taking bath at an inappropriate time. But that's not the right thing. It's a miscalculation on the part of Varuna's servant. And Varuna begged forgiveness. I'm sorry, my servant did not know the calculations of Panchanga and all that. Although your father is taking bath at the right time, he calculated it at a wrong. He had a miscalculation. That is his mistake. So not, and they realize that mistake, they beg forgiveness. It's done.
Thank you, Prabhu. One more question is that for devotees who are not pure, or for people who do pious activities, when they are taken to heaven, heavenly planets, as Krishna says in the 6th chapter, after a short practice, and if they have a material desires and they fall down, so who comes to guide them, Prabhuji? We have always seen that Yamadutas come to take them to hell, but when they go to heavenly planets, who takes them?
Like somebody may have to experience some result of one's pious activities and some results of some sinful activities. So sometimes they enjoy means they experience the sinful reaction first and then go to heaven. Just like Nriga, he did so many pious activities, but he also did some mistake, and for that he became a lizard, and after that he went to heaven. So who comes to take them? Not sure. I didn't consciously. I don't remember reading or hearing anything about that. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. There's no words, and your association is simply invaluable, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Need your blessings.
Thank you so much, Lalitangi Mataji, for those two wonderful questions. It was really helpful. Manmaya Mataji, please go ahead. Manmaya Mataji. Okay. Then we'll move on to Lakshmi Mataji.
Lakshmi Mataji.
Rashmi Mataji.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes.
Thank you so much for the nectarian class. Actually, I got this association from last few days. though I'm not able to join daily, but today, I don't know, Krishna inspired me to join somehow. So I joined, and definitely so many points I have got, and definitely I feel that if we meditate and apply in our daily sadhana, there will be no distraction or ups and downs. We can have steady progress in our devotion. So I have two questions. So you said in the last. Few devotees will ask, let me find happiness by serving you, but not by material pleasure. So my question is like we see in scriptures and we hear in classes that we should have, unmotivated, feelings to make only Krishna happy. I mean, yeah, we will get happy, but we should not keep, any intention that okay, I will get happy, so I'm doing this. But being conditioned soul, we hear Krishna Katha, then only we feel happy. We may not do that, okay, let me make Krishna happy, like that. We will have that intention, okay, I'm doing service, like that. But at the end, the priority of that outcome will be like, okay, this gives me happiness, so I'm hearing, at least me, what's happening with me. So is that a good, attitude, or how we have to
To
keep?
begin with, somebody uh, may not be on the level of gopis from day one. The gopis do all services and household activities, dress themselves, decorate themselves, cook. Everything they do is only for Krishna's pleasure. Even when they are decorating themselves also, that is only to give pleasure to Krishna's eyes. Seeing me nicely decorated, Krishna will be happy. So, I mean, that level of devotion we may not get overnight, but we'll begin somewhere. Sometimes people may approach the Lord even with material desires, sakama tendencies, but that sakama tendency is only a phase. Krishna will remove that sakama. Sakama bhakti they are doing, Krishna will retain that bhakti and destroy that sakama. So even if someone approaches the Lord with even little not so great intentions, Krishna will pick up good in them and eliminate the bad in them eventually. But we need to stick to that path of bhakti, right? And that recognizing that, oh, I am not at that level, I need to come to that level. How do I come to that level? Asking about it and endeavoring for it, that shows one sincerity. Krishna will definitely reciprocate with that sincere people, no doubt. So, like Prahalad, not Prahalad, Dhruva approached the Lord with an intention to get money or get position, prestigious position. But after performing bhakti sincerely, Dhruva forgot that desire itself, and even if the Lord fulfilled that desire, Dhruva did not take pleasure in it. So that's the nature of pure devotional service. So even if someone begins with some bad intentions or not very pure intentions, still it is the Lord's special mercy that He wipe out anything unfavorable tendencies in our minds and bring us eventually to pure consciousness. Akamaha sarva kamo va moksha kama udaradhi तीव्रेण भक्ति योगेन यजेत पुरुषः param. Whether we have all kinds of desires or whether we don't have any desires or whether we are specifically desiring for liberation, we can worship Krishna. Krishna will take care of removal of all unwanted things within us. We need to stick to the shelter of Krishna somehow or the other. Okay, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much. That really cleared my doubt. I have last second question. Yeah, we know that we should not expect any material, desire for our devotional service. But like, what happens with me is whenever it's not material desire, spiritual desire. Whenever I serve something, let's say if I cook something and offer to Krishna, I don't feel like praying for anything. But from heart, I feel like, please give me love of Godhead. I'm serving you, please give me like that. Automatically prayer comes, though I don't want to expect even that, just because I served, but that prayer comes. not because I served you, so give me, but whenever I give, do some service, and I can't stop that prayer. It automatically comes like, give me love of God and give me bhakti, like that. So is that wrong to expect like that?
Not at all, not at all. Of course, our ultimate prayer is to develop Krishna Prema. The whole Abhideya is meant to come to the level of prayojan of developing Krishna Prema. When you are praying for Krishna Prema, if you don't pray for Krishna Prema, how can we get it? So who else will give that to us? We need it. We should beg for it from Krishna. Krishna, please give me Krishna Prema. That's the perfection of offering prayer. Okay, so we should also learn how to offer that prayer from your example. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Rashmi Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you, Prabhuji, for that beautiful class. Actually, I had one question. The shloka which you recited of Bhandirvan related to Krishna, that is from which, is it from Srimad Bhagavatam or another book?
Padyavali. It's in Padyavali. I don't remember the number now. Okay. Somewhere there. You can see in the initial few shlokas only, it must be there. Yeah, Mataji posted here. 38 shlokas. 38.
Okay.
Thank you. I see all the shlokas almost all the shlokas that I quoted in the chat box. Thank you, Mataji, whoever is posting that. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Prabhuji, actually, one more question. My son, he was asking me, every jiva has a super soul within them. So when the jiva leaves the body, what happens to the super soul when he leaves the body?
No, super soul also accompanies the soul to the next body. But if the soul becomes qualified to go to the spiritual world, there is no need of super soul there. Directly interaction with Bhagavan. So as long as the jiva is in the material world, in whichever body, whichever planet, the super soul always accompanies that person.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat. So we'll conclude. No more questions, right?
Thank you. You have time, Prabhuji? There is one question in the chat, I hope.
Okay.
Okay, I think Jyoti Mataji is asking, who is a liberated Brahmana?
Who is a liberated Brahmana?
Yeah.
Okay, one who has no attachments, one who has no material expectations in this world, and one who has devotion, ultimately. That's ultimate liberation. So there's Brahmana or Kshatriya or whoever it may be. A liberated person is one who has absolutely no material desires and who is only, in the ultimate sense, he only has the desire to serve Krishna selflessly. That is the state of liberation, ultimate liberation. And liberation has multiple flavors, Salokya, Sarupya and all that. But ultimately, liberation means to be liberated from material entanglement and to be reinstated in our original position as lovers of Krishna and servants of Krishna. And that state can happen while living in the material world also, or when someone goes to the spiritual world also. Okay. Thank you. Okay. We'll conclude.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Shukar Prabhuji, you have any question?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, sorry to ask you one more question. Prabhu, I know I'm totally fallen soul, and the thing is, I have a desire to go back to God at the end of this life. I'm praying, and I know there are a lot of prarabdha karma and aprarabdha karma, and I really feel I don't really love Krishna because I'm loving Krishna by reading and everything, but I am also having fear of jara marana bhayam. That is also there. So it is not I am totally loving Krishna. So how do I make a point that I should not be bothered about anything, only Krishna and go back, because that purity is not there.
That healthy fear of Maya is favorable to bhakti. Prabhupada writes. So, okay. Jara Marana, like the greatest.
I don't want to come back and suffer because there's inside the womb of the mother and the old age and disease and again.
Bona fide.
Yeah.
That's bona fide anxiety, bona fide fear. One should have healthy fear of Maya. One should desire not to come back to the world. Okay, Unless Krishna sends for preaching. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Perfectly fine.
Well, I find you are a pure devotee. You're not telling, but I can understand you are a pure devotee.
Okay.
And all Radhanath Maharaj, all the devotees are coming here in Sangha. They're all extremely good. Every day is like so much nectar. I wait for this session. Thank you to Japa Sangha. Thank you. Thank you to Anita Mataji and the Gandharvika Mataji. Because they were all doing this. I'm so happy. And all other Matajis.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. I don't see any raised hands, Prabhuji, in the chat. Let me check the chat also.
So my request is to bring Gauranga Darshan Prabhu as more as possible, because I'm finding so all are good.
Yes, Prabhuji, he comes.
But
He
Gauranga
comes
Darshan
frequently
Prabhu is
on our
just
session.
like a firework. So many mantras.
He comes, Prabhuji. He comes.
He's very. He has to write books also, and he does. You know,
So nice. First, my special thanks to Shama Gauri Mataji, Aditi Mataji. You're all great organizers. I'm really indebted to you. Definitely.
We all thank Prabhuji for taking time and giving such a nectarian class today. Thank you so much.
Gauranga Darshan Prabhu ki jai.
Yeah.
So great.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for such a wonderful class. Prahladanam Prabhuji, you have anything to say?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask about this slok in the first canto where it says that apanna sansrutim goram yannam vivaso grunan tata sadyo vimuchyete yad viveti swayam bhayam. So there it says sadya. So I was always wondering, that if we say like that and if we get liberated, that's a great, a boon from sadya means, immediately. So I just wanted your opinion on that, Prabhuji. Haribol.
Yes, and different explanations are there for this sadhya. That sadhya happens to the degree of the purity of our chanting. Okay, yan nama vivasho grinan, vivasha, even unconsciously if we chant, what is the depth of chanting? What is the intensity of the chanting? Now, switch on my bulb here, my light here, it will illuminate my room only.
Right.
But if I switch on some kind of shed light, stadium light outside, it will illuminate the entire street. The difference is intensity. So if the intensity of chanting is so great, then sadhya vimuchyata, sadhya. Even otherwise also it is sadhya only, because the logic there is like, there is on the scale of eternity, one little lifetime of few years, a couple of years.
That's true.
Sadhya only. Okay.
That's true. Very true. Thank
you
so
much, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, only one question. Can we pray to Lord to give his love to us? Hemi Gupta Mataji is asking.
That's the best prayer that we can offer to the Lord. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for such a wonderful, enlightening class and giving your valuable time and association even in a busy schedule. So this was such a nectarian class, saying even about Maya, that when we turn away our faces from Krishna, then Maya will catch us. We feel that we are happy, but the Maya is so burdened, which is on our head. Like 100 kg it is sitting on our head. That's where I like, but we are not knowing it. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for such an enlightening class. Please come again in future frequently to enlighten us. Devotees, let's pray our obeisances to Prabhuji. Vancha ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Prabhuji ki jai.
Thank you,
Thank you so much,
Thank you
devotees,
so
for attending the
much.
call.